time to take a look at Bernat Pipsqueak yarn. This is a huge skein. You can also get smaller skeins, but I like these big skeins because I can get so much yardage out of it. This has a free pattern on the label. Sorry, my label's torn. To make this blanket. To knit the blanket, you need 2 big balls of one color and one ball of 2 other colors. So you need 3 colors, 2 balls of one color, 1 ball of each of the other 2 colors. And you need size 10.5 needles for that blanket, for that design. Alright, and you can get more free patterns on the Yarnspirations website, yarnspirations.com. The color of this is lime green. You'll see other colors on the website. It is a bulky yarn, number 5. It calls for a size 9 US knitting needle, 5.5 millimeter. You'll get 11 stitches and 16 rows in a 4x4 or 10-inch square. To crochet, you need a size I or 9 hook, 5.5 millimeter. You'll get 9 single crochets and 12 rows in a 4x4 inch or 10 centimeter square. It's machine washable and dryable. Do not iron, do not dry clean. 100% polyester. This ball has approximately 274 meters or 300 yards of yarn. It's 250 grams, 8.8 ounces. To make this blanket, and this is another pattern that's, I guess this must have 2 patterns on it. To make this blanket, you need 1 ball each in 2 colors. No, 3 colors. And this one has like a blue and a white and a yellow. So you need 3 colors, 1 ball of each, 3 colors. And ta-da! So I'm going to try using it. It has 1 strand on the outside, so just secure that under the label and then pull out the little center thing and you'll find where the beginning of the yarn is. So that's what I was working on before I started recording. I went ahead and pulled out the center section and there it is. So make sure I didn't knot it just now. And I did not. Yay. I did not knot. So I'm going to try crochet first with my size I hook. And this is not my favorite hook. Oh, it is the way it's constructed. It looks like it's just a whole bunch of strands all twisted together. Let's see if we can pull it out a little bit and look at it better. Oh, it's almost like an eyelash yarn. Now I can see it. It's got like a thread and it's like eyelashes hanging off of it. So that's how it's made. It's an eyelash yarn. Interesting. Makes it fluffy. It'd be good for making stuffed animals toys, you know. We're real good for that. You're not going to get any stitch definition with this at all. So don't do any fancy patterns because all your work would just disappear. It'd be better to just stick with just simple stitches instead of trying to make a design with texture to it. Texture won't show with this. So the hard part is finding the stitches now. So you just kind of have to guess, I think. With crochet it's harder to work with because you can't see the stitches at all. So you just guess. You just feel it and you just dig in. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just guessing. I have no idea if I'm doing this right or not. I'm just coming out of different ways and sticking the hook in there. I would think it would be easier to use the further up you get in the fabric, but we'll find out in a second. Because the stitches are just invisible. So the first row especially is hard to feel. Just take a chance. Take a chance. There we go. Alright. So now I'm going to turn. I'm going to try You have to feel it. So I'm just going to feel it. I still can't see the stitches. They're invisible. It makes a good solid fabric. I think this is going to be easier to knit with because you cannot see the stitches at all. It makes a very solid fabric. This would be good for making a blanket or to make a bath rug. I think it would make a good bath rug. It might not be good for a bath rug though because it's not cotton, but I think it would feel good on the feet. It would make good slippers because it'd be so fluffy. There. So like I said, you can't see the stitches. They're invisible. It's just like a solid fabric. So it's hard to crochet with because you can't see the stitches at all. They absolutely disappear. If you used a really big hook, you might be able to see the stitches better that way. It's kind of hard to unravel because it grips hold of each of itself. But I was able to do it. Alright. So I did not enjoy crocheting with it because I can't see what I'm doing. So let's try knitting. I have a feeling that knitting is going to be easier because I'll be able to see my stitches with knitting. This is such a fluffy, soft yarn. It feels wonderful. Now as you're working with it, you'll feel that thread that's binding all the yarn together, that's holding it together. So that will tire your hands out because it has no stretch at all. But the fabric that you're creating is, oh, it is so soft. It feels wonderful. You know how sometimes when you go to a store and you look at the baby things in the baby department, that's how soft this yarn is. It feels like those really soft baby things that they make now. Because it's just 100% polyester, I think. That's what I said. So it feels really good. I would think that a baby would love to keep touching something that you made with this. And like I said, it's easy to knit with because you can see the stitches. But crocheting was not very fun because I couldn't at all. I was just guessing. And once again, this will make a solid fabric. So you could do garter stitch or stockinette, either one, and I don't think you're going to see much difference in the fabric. So I'm going to do a few rows of garter and then I'll do some stockinette so we can see if there's a difference as we make it. And I would be knitting quicker if I was not having to reach around this camera. So don't let my speed be a guide for you. Okay. So now I'm going to do a little bit of stockinette. Let's do some purl. It's working very easily with these plastic needles. I would think it might be kind of slippery on metal needles. Might be easier to work with on plastic like I'm working. But I could be wrong. It might not be slippery on metal. Only way to know is by trying. I don't have any metal size 9 needles here to try it, so. I would think it would be grippy with bamboo needles. Or wood. Somebody gave me a pair of glass needles once. I thought those were interesting. I've never been able to use them with anything yet, but they're really pretty. I think they said that it's actually made with the same stuff they make Pyrex cookware with. So that was cool to learn about. Alright, so we've got garter stitch at the bottom, and we have stockinette at the top, and I can barely see a difference. It looks pretty much exactly the same. So if it were me, I would just do everything knit and just do garter stitch, because it's going to look the same regardless of what you do. So don't do any fancy stitch patterns, they'll just disappear. So there you go, Bernat Pipsqueak. Nice fluffy yarn, perfect for making stuffed animals or blankets or slippers or hats or whatever for babies or for adults too. There you go. Talk to you later. Bye.